What if I told you that a camping trip I took in 2012 and a woman I met on TikTok led me to being one game away from making the second day in the biggest Pokemon tournaments in the world outside of Japan? I had the time of my life at my first major Pokemon tournaments. I smiled, I laughed, and I was 6'3". Before I share my 2025 NAIC experience with you, I'm gonna give you the Dan Pokemon lore, the Dan Pokemon backstory, because it's my first tournament vlog. I want to share what gave me the extra push to go play some Pokemon, so I can give you that extra push to get out of the house and go to an event. The Dan Pokemon origin story picks up in 2012, right after I graduated the 8th grade. I went with my Boy Scout trip on a 70-mile hike at the Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico. On that trip, I had a lot of time to do some thinking and self-reflecting. I was gonna start high school in a couple months. I got to think who I really wanted to be and what kind of things I wanted to do. One of the more random revelations I had in my sleeping bag under the stars in the New Mexico wilderness was that I wanted to play Pokemon cards. I wanted to try it competitively. A week before my trip, I saw my first YouTube video on my feed from a YouTube channel called The Top Cut. The Top Cut was a YouTube channel based around the competitive Pokemon card scene and trading card game tournaments. There were several members in and out of the Top Cut, but my favorite two members were Kyle Pukasusevich and Michael Pramawat. I didn't have any friends that played the Pokemon trading card game, and I did not have a viable deck on the trading card game online client. So the closest I could get to playing consistently was watching their content. When I got home from my New Mexico trip, I binged all of their content, and I wanted to try tournaments bad. My dream tournament specifically was the United States National Championships. I played sports a ton growing up. Basketball was my favorite to play, so naturally I loved NCAA March Madness. The United States National Championships felt like Pokemon March Madness to me, and I wanted in on the madness. My dad, who supports me in everything I do to this very day, helped me build a Darkrai EX deck. I was lucky enough to play an entire competitive season from 2012 to 2013. Unfortunately, I did not make it to the US National Championships, where I could hopefully meet all the guys from the Top Cut and say thank you. But I did get paired up against Michael Pramawat at a city championships in Delaware. But as a 15-year-old, I kept my Top Cut mat in my backpack, and I was too shy to say, "Hey dude, I like your content, thanks for inspiring me." And that always didn't sit well with me. I thought to myself, if I ever get that opportunity again, I'm gonna tell him, thanks for inspiring me. My sophomore year of high school started and I got busy with sports. I started having practices and games on Saturdays. I started doing more extracurriculars and life gets in the way. Then you go away to college, graduate college, get a job, and I thought, hey, it's time for me to grow up. I can't go play Pokemon. I have to just work until I retire and die and do the family. That was until I met my girlfriend, Livie, who changed my life. We met on TikTok because we watched each other's streams and content. Our first date was shiny hunting her favorite Pokemon Rockruff and playing Fortnite Battle Royale duos. She's from Texas, I'm from New Jersey. That's about as good as we could do. Livie's been playing Pokemon since 2023, and in January 2025, when we just started talking, she told me she was playtesting for San Antonio Regionals. I want to flirt with her, I want to talk to her, I'll help you playtest, sure. And I was a little coy, I maybe didn't let on how much I played Pokemon cards. She said, hey, for a date, I'll teach you how to play. So I said, okay. I downloaded TCG Live, I bought a whole mess of code so I could make the deck she wanted to test against, your Regidragos, your Lugia. And we played for hours, and she said, you've done this before. I let on, yeah, this is my favorite game of all time, I love this. So I lived vicariously watching her compete at the 2025 San Antonio Regionals, and that's when I was like, oh my god, if she can do it, I want to do it. And so she said, yeah, she encouraged me, she pushed me to go to my first Pokemon events in 12, 13 years. So March 8th, 2025, I went to my local game shop, Liquid Games, for their Friday night locals. I took the Raging Bolt deck. Livie had taught me how to play. I used pink sleeves because it's her favorite color, and I used the deck box which she writ on. So even though she's not there, she's in Texas, she could be with me in spirit. Now I was taking that same Raging Bolt EX deck all the way to New Orleans to compete in that Pokemon March Madness. Yeah, I know it's not the US National Championship, but it's close enough for our story purposes. NAIC replaced it. Livie drove down to New Orleans from Texas with her friends Patrick, John, and Titus. She went with them and a bunch of other friends to NAIC last year, and they were all nice enough to let me come along with them this year. Shout out to Hector, Adrian, Jesse, and Dante in the Airbnb, and shout out to America for cooking some bomb meals at the Airbnb. All these years later, my dad is still helping me get to Pokemon tournaments. He drove me to the airport for my flight. I had me and Livie's beloved mouse, Fluff, with us of course. We take turns bringing him to our tournaments. I was reuniting with my beloved Livie. We checked out the Airbnb. My favorite part was they had a pool with a heater and like RGB lights you could set up. But then we went right back to the convention center. We had a Pokemon Center reservation for 4 o'clock, and I had to also pick up my competitor bag, which, pro tip, do that after the Pokemon Center so you don't have to carry around extra bags. I particularly liked like the official NAIC merchandise. I got a t-shirt, which I'm not wearing, of course, I'm smiling and laughing. A double deck box. Livie most wanted the Ogre Pond backpack and the Psyduck sweater. She whiffed on both of those when we were there, but luckily, shout out to Philip, he got them on Saturday because they restocked. Praise Arceus. We checked out all the vendors on the second floor of the convention center. One of them had a giant Slowpoke for $1,000. So I know exactly what I'm buying if I place in the top 4. Post Pokemon Center, Livie and I went out to dinner with Hector and Dante for some authentic New Orleans cuisine. A big shout out to Marius who recommended the Neo Creole Cafe to us. I had 2 goals for the weekend. I wanted to go out on Bourbon Street and I wanted to finish in the top 1,024 trainers. That would give me 40 championship points and take me from 182 to 222. Pushing me into that Ace Trainer threshold of 200 championship points. For those unfamiliar, Ace Trainer is something that's brand new, very cool, and if you finish with 200 championship points, you get a special promo card at the end of the season. I had been testing consistently for weeks with my Raging Bolt EX deck, and I felt very prepared. I wanted to go with Raging Bolt because it's the deck I had the most experience with. It's the deck I learned with that Livie taught me. I liked that it had 50-50 matchups pretty much across the board. It gave me a chance and I enjoy playing it, it's fun. I had been messaging every single day for weeks with our friend Patrick trying to find the perfect 60 cards for Raging Bolt. Here's what we settled on before re-sleeving our decks and getting some rest before the big day. Waking up on Friday, I felt like a kid on Christmas. The competitor hall opened at 8 a.m. and oh my god, my mind was blown. As far as the eye could see from left to the right was Convention Center. It was people passionate about Pokemon. Overall, I was really impressed with how organized the event was despite like the just total mass of humanity. Like there were so many people from competitors to spectators and a lot to do for spectators. So maybe you're not ready to compete, or maybe your significant other plays, your friends play, your brother plays. Go to these events even if you're not playing. There's a ton to do. Just get involved, get out of the house. The biggest tournament I played up to this point was 64 people. This was like over like 5,000 in all the age groups roughly. So this was different. I'm used to like them printing out the pairings on the wall. You go walk up or they read them off. Everything was online and you just had to just shuffle through thousands of people to find your table. The clock struck 9, an MC came out and there was a whole presentation and show highlighting some of the culture, the music, the arts of New Orleans. It really made it feel special for me. It gave me that rush of adrenaline, like before your football game, your basketball game, whatever. You're just standing there ready to rock and roll. It got the competitive juices flowing and really made it feel special. So now let's go through all the rounds. I'm gonna give you my live instant reaction and sprinkle in some context and bonus Dan insight where necessary. Okay, round 1 complete, first ever rounds at a major Pokemon tournament. And same 16 with Miss Livie.
Same 16.
Raging Bolt, Teal Mask knocks out. We faced Dragapult to Dusk Noir. Mine had no Shaman. And the Baby Bolt, it ran wild, so I was able to smile and laugh. A quick scoop game 1. Game 2, what they did is they luxurious caped the Voodoo. 2 prize Voodoo, and I already had the Raging Bolt EX. You know, you take the easy completions, you take what the defense is giving you. I just played my game, didn't have to do anything crazy, too hot.
Hey, boy, what are your thoughts on next round?
Oh, I'm excited to keep playing. We got 8 more games of Pokemon. I need to work on like the prize checking, but I played good pace and I was mean. I enforced the rules. My opponent put down a rescue board during jamming tower and then tried to retreat. And I said, no, you can't retreat. And he tried to say, oh, let me take the jamming tower back. Because then he was going to ultra ball it away. I said, oh no, I'm sorry, but the rescue tower is on there. Because usually at like locals challenges, even the cups, I'll say, hey, you can like pick that up, but nah, I paid too much money to travel here, to play here, so gotta play by the rules. Can't keep too high after one win, can't keep too low after one loss. We're gonna smile and laugh and produce shareholder value. Not much time to set up. We're 1-0-1. I won the first game against Goldengo, Ethan Stiflosian. Ethan Stiflosian respected. I was a good bit in front, but I wasn't able to take a 2-prizer while having a energy on a bolt so I could like boss his orders. I had the Bellowing Thunder, Ethan Stiflosian go down to 1 prize. He was able to make it rain find it. Time called on second turn of the game, so 7 rounds, win 5 times. Gotta lock in, but he said it was really nice and he enjoyed playing with me. So at the end of the day, like, that's what it's all about. We could be at work right now, you know? This round taught me you can't just worry about the pace of play in game 2 and 3 of the set. You have to be mindful of the pace right from the rip. It's a fine line that I'm still learning and trying to learn between being competitive and wanting to finish the set because, you know, ties, you can't make day 2 with a bunch of ties. You gotta win or you gotta lose. So I wanna make sure my opponent's advancing the game state in a positive way while still being kind and not being rude. So that's something I'm still learning. Hello, post round 3, we have 1-0-2, another tie. Grim Snarl, player from Japan, my first time playing someone from Japan. I won game 1 as they missed Finding Blood Moon, win to win. Game 2, I had a chance to take a 2 prize, the Grim Snarl was there. I couldn't find what I needed, womp womp.
You're alive.
Smiling and laughing, not alive.
I'm
0-3.
0-3.
So yeah, I'm gonna smile and laugh. Yeah, I don't know. I should have probably grabbed the Nest Ball to get Festivity for 3 more cards and pray. Probably didn't matter. I had to get so many things, but I tried. And I'm smiling and laughing. We're playing Pokemon. We are through 4 rounds. 2-0-2, the dream is alive. I have to win 4 of my last 5 to make day 2 of my first NAIC, and I'm already starting to feel like the wear and the tear. It's just a lot of games, but even at the conclusion of the 4th row, like where I am right now was a table, but like the amount of people, like already hundreds of people have dropped out, so I'm proud of myself, like already making it this far. I had a quick one, this one. Really nice guy playing Ethan's Typhlosion. No, Ethan's Ho-Oh box. But, like the Armor Rouge, everything. He had a lot of really cool cards, but he had to like Professor's Research away, 3 Professor's Research, or like Squawk. It was a whole mess. Poor guy. He was defeated. I was a defeated man, but like, no, a win is a win. A win's a win. You don't apologize for victories. Hello. Round number 5 in the books, 2-1-2. We've suffered our first loss of our international career, and yeah, I battled against Dragapult the Dusk Noir. My big takeaway is unfair stamp is indeed unfair. Game 1 down to the wire, played my face off. No regrets there, you know. Okay, maybe 1 regret. I should have got down to Hoots. But game 2, yeah, I mean, I took one knock and then unfair stamp, and I just drew past. The big takeaway is I'm having a lot of fun. Like I got to meet a lot of people that I just like have known online through a screen. So like getting to just go up and talk to like any familiar face that I'm seeing is kind of electric. It's been cool having so many people come up and like recognize me. Like especially like I only made 1 Pokemon video as of recording this. It's kind of like instructional. So like you're watching my first vlog, so I hope this becomes more of a big thing. What I really like to do is like interview some other players like in between rounds, see how they're doing. But I just have to get more comfortable, mind you, and I have to get like better at the playing. I need to experience playing so then I can like, all right, I can like get that cadence. But big things coming in the fall. After round 5, Livie bought us both these really cute Meowstic plushies. Quick one because the next round's about to start. We're alive. 3-1-2. I was against a fellow Dan. He's a good guy. I scooped pretty early, around 1, he had everything. And then game 2, oh my God, I bossed up Fez and was able to baby bolt enough damage. And he just couldn't retreat for a turn, so I knocked out a monkey door in the back. And then we're just able to knock out Fez. I can't believe I won. And then game 3, we had 6 minutes and then turns. I was up 4-2 on prizes. And we gentleman's agreement, whoever was up won. So 3-1-2, because a tie would have knocked us both out. I'm rambling, but I'm smiling and laughing. We're fighting for every inch. I've lost Fluff. I lost Fluff the Marshmallow Mouse. Please, if you're watching this in the future, I hope to God that future Dan and Liv found Fluff the Marshmallow Mouse, because I'm down bad. I miss Fluff. Fluff would love this. But we have Slowpoke, we have the deck, we have everything else. Some of my sleeves got like a little scuffed, so I'm gonna like go through and make sure my sleeves aren't marked, because I don't want to get a dumb game loss. So let's make sure the sleeves are okay, and let's smile and laugh. Smiling through it all, can't believe this is my life, we're gaming. Can I get a live react on the Fluff missing scandal?
Can't believe he's gone.
Do you think by the time that people are watching this, he's home?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Thoughts and prayers for Fluff.
That's my son.
T's and P's. Yeah, we did not find Fluff. It's a real shame. It's still a sensitive topic. New Fluff loading. Dan Enjoyers, we are still alive. I won the first one. I had a nice comeback. 4, 1, and 2.
You're crazy.
They took the first 2 prize knockout on me and went down to 2 prizes. I Ionoed them, Blood Moon or Saluna. And then eventually I was able to get the boss up. Oh my God.
What did you play against? I'm late.
Bolt Mirror. 59 of the same cards. And so then I made a big oopsie. But then we started the game 3. He had a gentleman's agreement. Didn't even need it. He prized 2 fighting energy. He put 1 on Fan Rotom and he scooped this awesome dude Zhao from Brazil. So now I've given Dan stickers to Brazilian and Japanese person. 2 more games for day 2 Dan. Day 2 Dan loading. Unless I lose the next one, that's gonna be really funny though, because you can look at all like the joy, and then the next one with it. I'll probably actually.
You're doing insane.
I'll probably still be really happy even if I lose this one though.
Yes.
I'm only here because of this woman right here, Miss Livie. So thank you, Dan Enjoyers. We're smiling and laughing. She was on the stream. She was all over the stream with her nails. Celeb, Div, we run this city. Smiling through it all. Can't believe it's our life. 2 more games. Win and in for day 2, Dan. What do you think?
Livie says, NAIC, let's go. Rocking a little bling for the Raging Bolt deck, a popular choice this weekend.
Yeah, and the NAIC nails, if you notice, Chip, look at those. Those are wild. Every different nail representing. We got a bunch of different typings there. Some Pokemon, it looks like, on one side. That is awesome.
Day 2, Dan. We are 1 match away. Raging Bolt Mirror. I lost game 1, scooped it early, big bang. I hope the sound quality is good on this dog. I can't believe this, that's crazy. 1 more game and then day 2 Dan, or it's gonna be just a hilarious just down bad for the next entry. We gotta get input for Livie. It was 6-2 prizes. I Ionoed them, Blood Moon sweep. And then game 3, we got it. We did it. We're so close to 1 more. Words of advice.
You got this. I've never gotten this far. I have no advice.
Between round 8 and round 9, I was chatting with Livie and some of our friends when a video came up on one of the NAIC screens, and it was showcasing some players, members of the community. Then I noticed a group of the judges next to us all starts laughing and pointing. Okay, that's kind of weird. Then I look and see the middle of the group of judges is Michael Pramawat from the Top Cut. And I flashed back to when I was 15, matched up against him, not saying a word. I was not gonna miss my opportunity this time. I went up, I introduced myself. I explained that he and his content were inspiration to me playing Pokemon and making content. I forgot to take a picture with him, but Livie got one, and I had him sign my Top Cut playmat that I always use. He wasn't the only Top Cut member there. Kyle Pukasusevic was casting, and I had my first encounter with him of the weekend during round 9. During the rounds, he came up checking out the matches, and I waved at him, pointed to my mats, and he gave me a thumbs up. Gave him the little sign it, 'cause I wanted him to sign it as well. but he did not at this time. I was in the middle of the game. I did end up finding him later in the weekend though. Day 2, Dan. Still loading. Lost 2-0 in the Bolt Mirror. As is tradition, game 1, I scooped within 5 minutes. Got deck checked. Had a good time. The dude, Nicholas, good dude. He came from a sports background like me. He played high school basketball and he was looking for another creative outlet. So there's probably a lot of us out there. Like, I love how I get like the competitive spirit, competitive experience. It's great. So yeah, shout out to Nicholas. So game 1, got my butt kicked. Game 2, I was getting my butt kicked until I wasn't. I was up 4 prizes to 2 prizes. I'm like, this is easy street. Come on. It's easy street. It's Bolt near. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, I don't have this anymore. So I fan rode him, knocked out Slitherwing, put him to 1 prize, and he judged and counter catchered. Huh. He said I probably just should have passed and forced him to boss his order and attach. I mean, I guess so, but like, when was I gonna attack? I don't know, dog. I'm the real winner of the tournament because I got my beautiful girlfriend, Miss Livie, here to support.
Did he tell you he did really good? Because he did really good. Did you tell him?
Yeah, no, we smiled and laughed. We had a good time. I mean, the first major to be competing. Day 2, Dan has a nice ring to it, though. Do you think next time?
Next time, for sure.
Chat, what do we think next time?
Yeah. What do you think? Put it in the comments.
What do you have to say to the Dan enjoyers, of which there are many?
Invest in your Dan stonks now.
That's wrapping this day 5, 2, and 2. I met a lot of really cool people. Hey, if you met me this day, drop a sound off in the comments. It took me a couple days to fully understand just how and why I lost that match, and I have learned so much from this defeat. Now, you and me both can learn 2 big lessons here. Number 1, it's avoid tunnel vision. In Pokemon, like any sport, the game is constantly evolving, the game is speaking to you, and just like a quarterback in football, you need to take what the defense is giving you. I was so locked in on a Blood Moon or a Saluna play, because, you know, that's what I usually do. My opponent changed the board state. I did not adapt. I just ran right into the trap. And number 2, it's that passing is not always passive. I took that line from Mr. Patrick. But we saw it in the top 4. The big play of the weekend, it's Riley passing versus Tord. I had that on a smaller scale. If I passed, my opponent had no win condition next turn. The nerves, the fatigue, the inexperience, it got to me. And my opponent played the game that was handed to him. With the run over 12 hours after it started, I finished 548 out of roughly 3,900 people. This put me soundly in the top 1024, giving me those 40 points I needed to reach the ace trainer status. So I got to check one of my goals off for the weekend. I proved to myself that I could compete at a high level, coming up just 1 game short of day 2, and you can do it too with enough practice, passion, and dedication. So with my tournament over, we headed back to the Airbnb, where there was a full-on barbecue going on with just delicious Mexican food, and me and Livie hit the pool once again. No one in our group advanced to day 2 of NAIC, so Saturday was all about sightseeing and networking. We hit up the French Quarter and went to the famous Café du Monde for beignets and chicory coffee. I made not my first questionable decision of the weekend, getting a hot coffee because it was about 90 degrees, but I didn't want that delicious, delicious coffee watered down with ice. And I gotta tell you, even though I was sweating bullets, it slapped. We walked around a couple of shops and made our way back to the convention center. Livie and I hit up the Pokemon Play Lab, where you can try either the trading card game, video game, or Unite. We tried out Pokemon Unite in order to get a special pin. We got a Team Skull pin from trying Unite, and we went right to the pin trading area to get some cuter ones. While we were walking around the venue, I saw Puka again. He was taking in all the day 2 action. This time, there was nothing in my way from walking up to him and introducing myself. I told him how he inspired me to play the Pokemon Trading Card Game and how he influenced my content, and I had him sign my playmat. He was super gracious and kind to me. He let me know it warmed his heart seeing someone use this playmat all these years later. And on the Sunday broadcast, he even dropped to smiling and laughing. Just a coincidence? Maybe not. You be the judge.
But enjoying it, you see them waving out to the crowd, smiling, laughing.
I filmed some of the B-roll you've seen in this video and are gonna see in my content for the next couple of months, and I interviewed a whole bunch of players, so shout out to everyone I interviewed. I can't wait to edit and share all that. Then we left the venue for the day. Livie and I got some nachos, quesadillas, and margaritas a couple blocks from Bourbon Street. Then we just walked from the one end to the other ends of Bourbon Street. Goal number 2 of the weekend accomplished. We met up with a bunch of Pokemon players. It was really fun. Loved seeing all the music, all the different food options, all the different drink options. It lived up to the hype. Bourbon Street rocks. Sunday morning, we went back to the venue to take in more of the action and do some Pokemon origami. The venue didn't have breakfast options, so it was a chicken tenders for breakfast kind of day. We also picked up one of Livie's chase cards at the vendors upstairs. We took some pictures as a group, and then Livie and her friends drove off to Texas. I stayed behind, filmed more interviews, took in some of the finals. Then it was time to hit the road, back to reality, and go work on this video. All these years later, I finally got to attend Pokemon March Madness. Plus, I got to meet my 2 favorite creators from the top cut that inspired me to play Pokemon. It was a full circle weekend for me, and one that has me just feeling grateful and my heart feeling very full. I just want to say thank you to the Pokemon community for being so accepting and kind to me, because I plan on going to all of the major Pokemon tournaments, competing, vlogging, so I can share it with you and encourage just at least one person to get out there, go to their first Pokemon locals, and play the game. It's an incredible way to make friends, which as an adult can be very difficult. I'm a super extroverted person, but in the 5 years since I graduated from college, I made a grand total of 0 friends before I started playing Pokemon and pickup basketball. I think if 2012 Dan could see this video and how I did in New Orleans, he'd be so proud of me. Not just for finishing with a solid record, but for getting out there, playing the game I love, and meeting people that share my passion for Pokemon. Please come up to me at events, say hi to me, let's take a silly picture, and most of all, get out there and play some Pokemon.